Hello students, myself Shubhangi Jadhav. I am going to teach you the 10th chapter of chemistry, that is states of matter, gaseous and liquid state. Students, the weightage for this chapter in your annual exam is of 4 marks without option and 6 marks with option. Now this is a very easy chapter. आता फक्त या एक्झाम पुरतीच तुम्हाला या चॅप्टरची तयारी करायची नाही आहे. तर तुम्हाला माहिती आहे की तुम्ही 2022 मध्ये नीट, जेईई किंवा सीईटी यासारख्या एक्झाम देणार आहात आणि या एक्झाममध्ये देखील या चॅप्टरवर आधारित ॲटलिस्ट एक क्वेश्चन विचारलेला असतो. एवढंच नव्हे तर या चॅप्टरमध्ये असणारे काही कन्सेप्ट्स जसे की गॅस लॉज, आयडियल गॅस इक्वेशन, कायनेटिक मॉलिक्युलर थिअरी ऑफ गॅसेस किंवा लिक्विड स्टेटशी रिलेटेड असणारे काही कन्सेप्ट जसे की सरफेस टेन्शन, विस्कॉसिटी, वेपर प्रेशर या कन्सेप्टचा फिजिक्स विषयाचा अभ्यास करताना देखील तुम्हाला उपयोग होणार आहे. आणि म्हणूनच या चॅप्टरमध्ये असणारे सर्व कन्सेप्ट्स या आत्ताच व्यवस्थित समजावून घेणं आणि त्यांची सर्वच एक्झामच्या दृष्टीनं व्यवस्थित तयारी करणं हे तुमच्यासाठी उचित ठरणार आहे. चला आता या चॅप्टरकडे वळूया. स्टेट्स ऑफ मॅटर. व्हॉट इज मॅटर? यू नो व्हेरी वेल द डेफिनेशन ऑफ मॅटर. लेट्स सी फर्स्ट द डेफिनेशन. एनिथिंग इन द युनिवर्स that occupies a space and which possess a mass, that is called as a matter. युनिवर्स मध्ये जे काही पदार्थ आहेत ज्यांना मास आहे, स्वतःचा असं मास आहे आणि जे काहीतरी स्पेस ऑक्युपाय करतात त्याला आपण काय म्हणतो? मॅटर. अगेन यू नो दॅट द मॅटर एक्झिस्ट इन एनी वन ऑफ द 3 states. And what are that 3 states? Solid, liquid and gas. So let's see the states of matter. At the school level, you have studied that any matter is existing in either solid state, liquid state or in gaseous state. But early research of scientists have been led to discovery of 2 more states of matter. Do you know that 2 more states of matter? Some of you may know that 2 more states. I will tell you that states also. See, the matter may exist in the 4th state, which is named as a plasma state. And the 5th state, that is called as Bose-Einstein condensate. Bose-Einstein condensate. It is also abbreviated as BEC. These 2 states have been discovered in the earlier days. Now out of these 5 states, the first 4 states, that is solid, liquid, gas and plasma, these 4 states are occurring naturally. So these are the natural states. While the 5th state, Bose-Einstein condensate, it is a man-made state. Scientists have been discovered this state earlier, that is in 1995. Now, though these states are natural, here the plasma state do not occur on the Earth. Generally, it is a common state that occurs at Sun and stars. So, plasma state is not a common state that occur on the Earth. On the Earth, a matter may exist in any one of about these three common states, that is solid, liquid and gas. And therefore, you have to concentrate your study only on the first three states, solid, liquid and gas. Out of these three states, in this year we will study gaseous and liquid states specially, and in the next year, that is in 12th standard, you will study the details about the solid state. Now, if you want the details about plasma state and Bose-Einstein state, then you click on the Google about these two states, then you will get the idea or the information about these two states. But in our textbook, only these three states of matter are given. Now, we will distinguish between these three states, solid, liquid and gas. I know you have distinguished even from the 6th standard in between these three states on the basis of their characteristics. So, you know some of the distinguishing points between these three states, but I will just revise that points and will tell you some more points, distinguishing points about these three states. So let's distinguish between solid, liquid and gas. Okay? See, these are the distinguishing points between solids, liquids and gases. Let's see the first point. Volume. You know very well that solids possess definite mass and definite volume. The liquids are also having a definite volume, but the gases are not having a definite volume. That is, their volume is indefinite. See the shape of these solids. The solids again possess definite shape. Liquids are not having definite shape, and the gases are also not having a definite shape. You know very well that the liquids and gases take the shape of container in which they are placed. I will take one example so that you will get the idea about the volume and shape of either solids, liquids and gases. See a simple example. Take any solid. I will take here a copper piece, a metallic copper. If I take this copper piece, you will observe that it is having a definite length, breadth and height. That is, it will possess a definite volume. You may take also a stone. It is also having a definite volume. Liquids are also having definite volume. Suppose I take 1 liter of water and transfer it into this beaker. So that liquid will possess a volume which can be expressed as 1 liter. You can also take any volume of a gas in a container. If suppose this is a container, closed container, the capacity of this container is suppose of 50 ml. Then here the gas will occupy this volume. Its volume is fixed, that is 50 ml. So solids, liquids and gases are having definite volume. But here the shape of liquids and gases are not definite. The solids are having a definite shape. If you transfer this metallic copper into a container, whether its shape gets changed? No. Its shape is fixed, that is definite. But if you transfer this liquid into a bottle of 1 liter capacity, what will happen? The volume of that water will remain as 1 liter, but its shape will get changed. Similarly, if you transfer this gas into another container, what will happen? Suppose this container is having 100 ml capacity, then the gas will take the shape of this container and also it will occupy the whole volume of this container. And therefore, you will say that the gases are neither having definite volume and nor a definite shape. You know very well these two distinguishing points. Now let's see the third distinguishing point, that is arrangement of particles. In case of solids, the particles are arranged regularly. Now the question will arise in your mind that what are particles? You know very well, any matter is made up of small tiny particles and that are named as atoms. The smallest unit of any matter is the atom. Again, we know that atoms may get converted into ions or atoms combine together to form the molecules. So, matter is either made up of atoms, ions or molecules. So, what are particles? They may be atoms, ions or molecules. Now, in case of solids, these particles are arranged in a regular manner and that's why they are having a definite shape and definite volume. Let's see the arrangement of that particles. Suppose these are the atoms or molecules or the ions. Then their arrangement is regular in this manner. Okay. In case of liquids, the particles are not arranged regularly. They are loosely packed. Their arrangement is irregular, just like this. There is no specific arrangement of these particles. In case of gases also, the particles are not arranged regularly. Even I will say that the particles are arranged in a high irregular manner. They are arranged randomly. They are moving here and there randomly. Again, you will observe that in case of these solids, the particles are tightly held. They are closely packed. While in case of liquids, the particles are far away from each other and they are loosely packed. The spacing between these particles is comparatively large. While in case of gases, the particles are very loosely packed. And that's why you can say that the intermolecular space in between the particles in case of solids is very small. What is meant by intermolecular space? The space or the distance in between the molecules. So the intermolecular space is very small in case of solids. In case of liquids, you will observe that the particles are randomly arranged and the space between them is moderate, that is comparatively large than the solids. While in case of liquids, the intermolecular space is very large and that's why these particles are comparatively loosely held while the gaseous particles are more loosely packed or more loosely held. Now let's see the fifth distinguishing point, that is the movement of particles. Already we have seen that these particles are very close to each other, they are closely packed, they are tightly held and therefore they are having a fixed position and therefore they cannot move freely. But in case of liquids, since the particles are loosely held, they can move, but their movement is restricted to a very small distance within that liquid. While in case of gases, you will observe a continuous random motion of the particles. Now let's see the density of these three. The solids are having high density. What is meant by density? You know very well, density is equal to mass upon volume. For a given mass of solid, since the volume is very small, their density is high. But in case of liquids, here since the particles are away from each other, they are having a large volume and therefore their density decreases. The density of liquid is less than solid, but it is greater than gas because we know that the gases are having comparatively large volume. I will take one example so that you will get the idea about the density of solids and liquids. If I take solid iron, iron metal in solid state, then its density, you will observe that the density of this iron is 7.87 gram per cm. If iron is in solid state, its density is this one. While if this iron is in liquid state, that is in molten state, if I take iron, then its density becomes 6.98 gram per cm cube. Means the same metal is here, but when it is in solid state, its density is more, and when it is in liquid state, its density has been decreased. Again, you know that the gases are having very less density. That's why the gases can flow randomly or move here and there freely. Now let's see the next distinguishing point, that is compressibility. Since the particles in the solids are very close to each other, you cannot further compress that solid. Can you compress the iron metal or can you compress the stone? No, we know that we cannot compress the solids further, and therefore we can say that the solids are non-compressible. The liquids are slightly compressible. Why? Because of the space between the particles. Since there is an empty space in between the particles, you can slightly compress the liquid. While the gases can be compressed to more extent, to large extent, that is, they are highly compressible. You can compress the gas even to convert it into solid. You know very well the dry ice, that is solid CO2, carbon dioxide gas, can be converted into a solid state also by compression. Okay, so the gases are highly compressible. Now let's see the last point, which is very important, that is effect of small change in temperature. What is the effect of temperature on the volume of solid, liquid and gas? We will observe. Suppose you heat the copper metal. Whether its volume gets changed, you will say no, the copper metal do not changes its volume. Remember, when we increase the temperature, the volume of the solid increases, but that increase is not appreciable, and therefore we can say that here when we change the temperature, volume changes slightly. There is no significant change of volume. You cannot observe by your naked eyes the change in volume of that metal. Here, in case of liquids, when you increase the temperature, its volume changes to a slight extent. So, the volume changes moderately by change in temperature in case of liquids. In case of gases, there is a significant change in volume. Here, there is an effect of pressure on the volume of gases as well as liquid. Okay, there is no any effect of pressure generally in case of gases, but you will study that effect of pressure on the gases in detail in the next videos. Okay. Now the question may be arised in your mind that why a particular matter is existing in a particular state only at a given set of temperature and pressure. Remember well, any matter is existing either in solid state or in liquid state or in gaseous state at a certain temperature of at a certain condition of temperature and pressure. Then why a matter exists in that particular state only at a given state of that temperature and pressure? For example, why iron metal is existing in solid state at room temperature? Why water exists in liquid state? Why water is existing in a solid state? at 0 degrees Celsius temperature, or why oxygen gas is in gaseous state at room temperature. What will be the reason behind these 3 states of a matter at a given conditions of temperature and pressure? Think in the next lecture I will give you the reason behind this, that is the factors that determine the states of matter. Thank you.